This man really doesn't need too much of an introduction unless you're living under a rock. He returns to make his 2022 debut coming up on Saturday, March the 19th at the Galen Center in Los Angeles. Catch that live and exclusively on DAZN. The one and only Vergil Ortiz Jr. And Vergil, it's been a hot minute. We haven't talked in a few months. It's since August, so we're going on almost 6 months here, man. How was your holidays and how did everything end for you?
Holidays was great. Christmas is always a good time. New Year's too. I didn't even stay up for New Year's this year. I kind of stopped caring. um, you know what? I think I watched Cobra Kai for New Year's because that's when it came out. Yeah, it came out the last day of the year, and then I just fell asleep. But yeah, everything was great. So yeah, there goes that. How about yours?
It was good, and I did not make it to midnight. I got two kids. I got two little ones, so it was like 10:30, and it was time for
Yeah,
bed.
same here.
What did you think of Cobra Kai?
Dude, it's a good ass show. It's good. I mean, I was a big Karate Kid fan, and so was my dad. So is my dad. But my dad's been Team Cobra Kai since the movies, so he's an
Oh,
OG.
wow. That is, woo,
He
wow.
would always tell me in the corner to sweep the leg, just to be funny.
Is it one of those where you just try not to laugh when he says it?
Yeah, I mean, I let out a little laugh. I'm still in the zone, but it kind of just catches me off guard sometimes. I'm like, bro, okay.
But, I feel like that's good, though, because that really, so you're not so focused. You kind of just get like that. You get that thing to where he tries to distract you for a minute, so you're not so intently focused. That's
Yeah,
never
like
a
not
bad
it's
thing.
just not so tense. Yeah, it's not bad being focused, but just kind of like the tension, just loosen up.
I was at a conference earlier this week with the Zone, and we were talking about you, and a lot of the production team reminded me of our interview in August, to where you just decided to go bust out the guitar. That was a really big hit, apparently, with the social media team and also the production team, because they played it during the fight. And how is the guitar skills these days?
I'm learning. I feel like I slowed down a little bit. Actually, I might have regressed a little bit
Uh
because
oh.
some of the stuff that I was playing before, I can't do it now, or unless it's the guitars matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bridge will give you a better access to the strings and to the notes than other bridges. Right now I'm using a PRS John Mayer Silver Sky, which is basically more like a Fender. It's not really a metal. I like
Okay.
playing metal. That's what I play. That guitar is not built for that. So maybe I just need a different guitar. Maybe get a different feel, but I'm still practicing. That's what I do. I don't see it as practice. I just love to play the guitar.
There you go. And a great win. I thought the biggest win of your career over Mo Hooker back in August. And it's one of those fights to where, everyone was like, oh, which no, it wasn't over. It was Mean Machine. My sincere apologies. You look at Mean Machine and you look at the way he fought Terrence Crawford, and you had a couple rough moments there, but you were able to persevere and overcome. And how much of a learning test was that for you? Because we learned that you could take a shot. That was the one thing people were like, oh, what if he gets hit? The guy that knocked down Terrence Crawford, you took his best shot. You came back and you stopped him in the eighth. What did you learn about yourself in that fight?
I wouldn't say I necessarily learned anything. I know how tough I am. Um, it's more like I showed it. I finally got a chance to show it. And people are saying I got exposed, but I don't care what they have to say. I really don't care. Some people think I care, but I don't. But yeah, so like I see it as I got the experience in. I know I can handle it. Yeah.
How do you look at 2021 then? Because you look at your two biggest tests and you passed them quite easily. How do you assess 2021 for you?
First of all, I wouldn't say easily, but I got through them. That's what matters.
Yeah.
I feel like even though I wanted to fight 3 times and we didn't get the third fight to happen, I feel like it was a pretty good year. I don't think really anyone in the welterweight division fought the competition that I did. You know? I that's just my opinion. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I feel like I had a really good year last year, and we only plan to do better.
When did you want to fight in December? I had heard rumblings that you did, but I couldn't really get it confirmed.
Oh yeah, I
Was that a
mean, yeah,
plan?
I did want to fight in December, and just things just didn't work out. I think if anything, I was gonna fight in January, if anything. But like I said, things just didn't work out. Time didn't work out. Christmas holidays, there's hardly any fights going
Yeah.
on. When there's no fights, no sparring, no one's available. It's just really bad timing.
It was unknown on who the opponent was going to be, and then when Michael was brought about, people were kind of like, mm, people were wondering, okay, yeah, he's a good fighter, but he's never really been tested. When were there other options you had in mind, or did you feel like Michael was the best progression to get you where you want to get to in 2022?
It's not necessarily my decision to look at opponents for me to fight. That's kind of one of the reasons why I don't really call people out, because it's
Yeah.
not even up to me. It's up to my managing team, which my manager, my dad, and Golden Boy. It's whoever they put in front of me. They say, hey, you're gonna. They don't tell me, hey, you want to fight this guy? They say you're gonna fight this guy, and I'm just like, okay, it's whatever. So
Do you ever have a preference though? Because I know a lot of guys, and girls are like it, to where they just kind of what their team
not
tells them. Do you?
not really,
No?
because like I feel like I don't know. I just don't necessarily like choosing. You
Yeah,
just get them in front of me. It's kind of like I'm assigned a mission almost. That's my mission. You're
like a
telling me to
sniper.
do it. I'm gonna do it. So that's just
So,
how I see it.
so you're like a sniper or a mercenary per se, or a bounty hunter.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a machine. Like I'll be back, and then I do my mission, and then I do it, and I come back.
You
Then
do
I'm
that.
like, what else?
You do that Arnold Schwarzenegger very well there. I think you may have a good career post fight. Little acting chops there, Vergil Ortiz.
Hey, maybe I'm all right at what I do. I try to be okay in everything that I do.
I think you do more than okay. I'm thinking so far you're doing quite fine.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot was made near the end of the year about your trainer. You got, the reports that you got rid of Robert Garcia. You were going to go with Eddie Reynoso, and you are no longer with Robert, and your dad's going to be the head guy coming up here in this fight coming up in a few weeks. And just what exactly happened with Robert to where you got to the point of where you needed a new voice in your corner?
Well, I feel like the voice has always been my dad, even since the amateurs. When I was at camp at Robert, the guy that's always in my corner is my dad. When I'm hitting the bags, the person telling me what to do, what I'm doing wrong, is my dad. Uh, it's always my dad. He's always been the one behind me in my corner. And anywhere I go, when I'm training in Texas, who do you think is training me? My dad. Oh, and Hector Beltran. He's there with me as well. So I feel like it's not necessarily a big change. It's a change of definitely a change of people around me. Obviously, I'm not in the same gym. Um, but more or less it's almost the same, because my dad has always been the one that's been on my ass in a good way
Yeah.
this whole time. So
Are there hard feelings toward in your mind
no,
with
oh
Robert or no?
no, no, not at all. There we talked to him. We flew out in to California to personally explain, we're not going to do it over like text message, breaking up with your
Yeah.
girlfriend, text message or whatever, not like that.
Right?
But no, we're no very respectful. We just very respectfully we went out there, and we kind of we talked a little bit, and no, there was no hard feelings at all. No, there's nothing personal, nothing about it like that. Good guy.
You know, I had heard rumblings of you working a little bit with Eddie Reynoso. Can you confirm? Did you go to San Diego at all and get some time in with Eddie to see if that was a fit, or did you guys just not link up?
We did go to San Diego, and we trained at his gym for a little bit, but
Okay.
he just wasn't available. And like I said, with the whole holiday thing, just time was not working out like at all. Nothing was going as planned. I was
Yeah.
gonna fight sometime in January. Didn't work out. So everything was just off, So
Yeah.
we just had to recalculate. We came back home and we felt like Manny Robles coming to his gym, getting his help was just the best choice. So that's what we did.
What was it like to be out in San Diego and be in that gym? Because you hear so many. I've been there once, and it was quite breathtaking for someone like a reporter like me. But what was that like for you to be in that gym where, you know, arguably pound for pound the best fighter in the world today, Canelo Alvarez, trains at? What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it's it's awesome. It's like being a part of history almost. It's that gym's legendary. So I did meet some of the guys, some guys I had met before, saw them
Okay.
again. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty cool being in there.
What did you take away from that short time you were there?
I mean, not much. My dad was like I said, my dad's the one that's mainly training me there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we were the only ones in the gym
Okay.
because around the holidays, like I said, no
Yeah.
one's fighting or anything like that. So we were still in the gym, uh sometimes by ourselves. So really, I mean, it's like for me, it kind of opened my mind, like no matter where I go, it's always gonna be me and my dad.
How important, because you look at father trainers and you look at the Mosleys and you look at Teofimo Lopez and his dad, and you look at what happened with Sean Porter and his dad, and I was literally 10 feet from what happened there in November out in Las Vegas. And when did the relationship with you and your dad in terms of boxing? Was he the reason you got into boxing, or was it because of just watching it as a kid, or was your dad the main reason why you did get into the sport?
My dad took me to the boxing gym for the first time when I was 5 years old, and I mean, he didn't force me in it, if
Yeah.
that's what you're asking, because I wanted to spar. I saw them sparring, and I asked if I could spar. And
Okay.
even though I hadn't trained before, they went ahead and stuck me in there, and I liked it. I loved it. Apparently I did really good. If I got my ass kicked, obviously I'm like, no, this ain't for me.
Right.
So apparently I did pretty good. So I just stayed in it. It's just it was my calling.
Was
And
your dad
luckily,
a
I found it really early in my life.
was your dad a boxer?
Yes, he boxed. I'm not really too sure if he had any amateur fights or not. He definitely
Okay.
didn't go pro. He
Okay.
might have had a few amateur fights. Definitely had school fights.
I
But
think we all have.
yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, other than that, I think he was just a natural born fighter.
What was that first experience like for you, going to the gym, getting in there and just hitting something? What was that like for you, if you even remember at such a young age?
I do literally remember the first time I walked into that gym. I saw people hitting the bags. I saw one of my friends, who's still my friend now, doing some jump roping, the doubles or whatever. I still remember seeing it in my head. Um, what I thought at first was just boring because it wasn't a sparring day. I'm like, whatever. And then after that, I don't remember anything else because it 5-year-old kid. If it's not memorable, I'm not gonna remember it.
Exactly.
But anyway, so we went the next day, and that's when they were sparring. And then that's when I wanted to get in, and I don't remember much of the sparring. I was 5 years old, but I just know that I did pretty good, and ever since then I stayed in it.
How was your school fighting skills?
School fighting.
Yeah. You talked about school fighting. How I
I I
did you go
only fought
undefeated?
one time in school. Yes, yeah, I was 1-0.
Was it by knockout like your pro career?
Okay, the guy was I was like 75 pounds at the time. The guy was at least 150, so I didn't get him
Woo!
out of there. Um, I would have to say RTD after round one.
Have you seen this gentleman since you've become a big name, one of the premier names in the welterweight division? Have you seen this guy?
No, I haven't. Oh, I seen him in high school one time. I sat behind him on accident, not knowing it was him because I hadn't seen him since the sixth grade. I saw him like 5 years later,
Okay.
but and he didn't say nothing when I sat behind him or anything like that. But when I they were calling attendance and I heard his name, I'm like, oh, that's him. But it's nothing like that. Guys can scrap it out
Oh yeah.
and they'll be best buds. After we weren't best buds, but we're cool. It's whatever. It's we're guys. Guys be guys. So
So when
no
was
hard
this fight?
feelings at all.
So when was this fight?
When was it? I was in
Yeah.
the sixth grade.
Sixth grade. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the
So
only time I fought. I'm not like a fighter that talks shit or whatever like that. I've always been this way.
when did your dad realize that you had something and that you could be something special?
That had to be a question for him because I don't know.
When did
I
you
remember
realize
I
it in your
dropped
own?
someone to the body
Okay.
when I was about 9 years old.
Okay.
So if I if I had to pick a moment where I think that he saw it, then it'd probably be that. Because when I did it at the time, I was like, he fell. But that's from my dad's eyes, he probably saw it differently.
When did you realize it? That you had something and you could be one day what a lot of people are projecting you to be is a world champion, one of the guys that is going to lead this division for the next 10, 15 years.
I think I saw it when I fought Mauricio Herrera. So it wasn't even until recently, to be honest.
Why? Why did it take you? What was it about that fight in particular?
It wasn't necessarily about that fight. Maybe it's because, like, when I saw, people say that there's levels or
Yeah.
whatever, right? When I saw that, I was still taking out guys. I was climbing levels and I was still taking them out. And I mean, even like last year, like the fights that I've been in last year, I'm still realizing it, but you know, uh, it just kind of puts it into perspective. Like I belong here, you know.
You know, you
So
go ahead.
yeah, so it's just like I don't even know what I want to say. I can't really put it into words. All I know is that I'm not necessarily a guy that's hyping my ass off on Twitter and saying all this to posting videos and all that stuff. But like I'm like kind of like proving myself to myself. That's why I don't really care what people say. I'm just trying to prove myself.
I want to ask you, you look at what happened with Teofimo Lopez and you look at, the situation that happened with Sean Porter and his dad. How do you make sure situations like that doesn't happen with you and your dad going forward?
You're gonna have to clarify because I really don't know.
You look at like where it was more Teofimo, his dad was giving him bad advice and, he wasn't looking out for the best interest of Teofimo. He was looking out for more of the best interest of him and didn't want no one else in that corner but himself. And you seen what happened to Teofimo Lopez against George Kambosos. And you seen what happened with Sean Porter to where, Sean wanted to continue to fight and his dad's sitting there yelling at him and his dad's like, no, we're done. So how do you keep that relationship solid to where you can keep it professional when you're in the ring and then when you're outside the ring, you keep it as father and son?
I feel like that just naturally happens between me and my dad. I don't know about the whole situation with Fimo and his dad, but I think Sean Porter's dad made the right decision. It was gonna end brutally, and I'm glad that the fight stopped when it did because the fight was over, in my opinion. There was really no need for him to get up and continue fighting for maybe 10, 15 seconds because Crawford was gonna get him out of there and probably bad. And Sean didn't need that. Definitely didn't need that. And if it was me and that was my son, I wouldn't want to see my son hurt like that either. So that I understand. And I feel like his dad was just looking out for the best for his son. And I feel like my dad does the same thing in everything that he does.
Will your dad always be in your corner, whether it's
Yes.
at the head of
Yeah.
until you're done?
Yeah. And okay, so as far as you saying Teofimo's dad didn't want anyone else in the corner, yeah, think about it. My dad sent me to Joel Diaz's training camp and wasn't even in my training camp for
Oh, I didn't know that.
6,
Wow.
7 fights.
Yep.
So it's not like it's not even him being greedy or anything like that or anything. He did give me the opportunity to send me off to California by myself. So, so it's I think my dad tried everything. And we both come to the realization that I need him.
What was his reaction to when you told him that? When you were like, Dad, I need you here to guide me to where I want to get to.
So I don't speak like that. It's more like I'm not
I
like
love it.
like, Dad, we need to talk, because I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So it's more just like a
just knowing type of thing.
We just know each other. We know each other. I know what sets my dad off. I know what he's thinking without him saying it. I know my dad, like, spiritually connected.
Is it going to be a fight by fight with Manny Vergil, or is it going to be is Manny going to be the guy going forward?
I mean, we'll see how things work out.
Okay.
This is only the first camp, so we're trying things out. But man, as far as we can tell, man, he's a great guy. He's a great trainer, great gym. I love the people around us. Very comfortable right now.
2 more questions, Vergil, and thank you so much for the extended time today. It really means a lot, and it's greatly
No problem.
appreciated. And how would you characterize this camp? Because like you said, you're no longer with Robert. Now you're in Manny Robles' gym, at least for this fight. How has the experience been for you so far?
The camp is it's like it's really good. That's a boring answer, but I'm just gonna say it first. It's really good. And it's also different. We got every gym trainers have their own styles and methods and stuff. So it's always interesting to see how other people work and the people around them too. So it's just it's new, and I like it.
And we'll end with this. I know a lot of people many are expecting big, including yourself and your dad, big things in 2022. Perfectly. Perfectly. How do you lay
Or
out?
is it me?
It's you.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good. If things align the way you and your dad expect them to go in 2022, how do you see yourself at the end of 2022?
I mean, hopefully things go good, and I'm healthy and all that stuff. Hopefully I'll become a world champion by the end of this year. I keep saying it every year. Things happen, and for reasons or whatever. But hopefully, we're just hoping for the best. We're hoping for a really good breakout year.
Which world champion would you prefer to be?
I mean, honestly, the ones that has a belt. So I really don't care. Because if I beat one, then the other ones are gonna come to me. So it's like it's just gonna fall into place.
He returns to the ring coming up on Saturday, March the 19th at the Galen Center in Los Angeles, California. You catch it live and exclusively on DAZN as he faces Michael McKinson. Vergil, it's been a long time since we chatted. It was good to get this extended time, go in depth more about everything going on with you. And I'm looking forward to March 19th, my friend. And I'm envisioning now the end of the year, you and Terrence Crawford in the ring in a new WBO welterweight champion.
Yes, sir.
All right, Vergil. Talk soon, my friend, and I'll look forward to the fight in March.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.